Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to DH Masters 2020 for the spring split, and oh my, it is going to be a fun time. We do have AVANT taking on Order for the first matchup of the day, and I don't know who's going to win this, and that's a problem because I'm supposed to know. I'm supposed to have the script. They didn't give it to me today.
Yeah.
Just make it up. Five head.
Either make it up or actually, maybe do some analysis, do a little bit of homework, maybe have a think about how good these teams are playing coming into the tournament. What do you think, Kev?
Look, I was just going to throw the copy pasta to you about you can keep your statistics, I'll keep the magic. And that's pretty much what this gameplay is going to be for me. It's going to be some magical gameplay that's going to win the team at the end of the day for AVANT or Order. I don't know which one just yet. Our pre-game analysis is that it's all to a coin flip. It's just because it's too close to call for both these sides.
Yeah, look, I'd have to agree as well. As you could see in our predictions, I think you both had Order going down in the first match, whereas I had AVANT going down in the first match and then getting redemption later on.
I had AVANT going down. Yeah,
I
had Order winning both times.
Yes, okay, so... Oh, that's right, because they get knocked down by Renegades.
Yes,
and it was all over the place. So we're all kind of on a different page with how this is going to go, but as we've just mentioned, that it is pretty much a coin flip as to where it is. But look, I want to talk about AVANT first, right? The other day when Kevin and I were casting ANZ Champs, they were looking pretty good. We were talking about their inconsistency, very worried about that. They've been plagued by a couple of lackluster performances recently, getting upset by certain teams, and I thought they weren't going to come again. But they're back, so let's see if they're here again today, if they've managed to carry it forward. They certainly look prepared on Monday, and look, it's 2 days later, so hopefully they haven't dropped the ball.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty hard to evaluate. I think I have Order winning both times simply because they really impressed me with their level and the ceiling that they have up against Renegades, where they should have won in Road to Rio. I really am enjoying watching this team play as of late, whereas AVANT, I've tuned into a couple of their games, and I think I've been catching the wrong games, to be honest, because whenever I watch them, they're sort of struggling against some opponents that they shouldn't be in ANZ Champs, or they're a little bit inconsistent in some of their MDL matches, so they just don't fill me with a whole lot of confidence. I know that the ceiling is there. Hell, I even casted and watched the games in ANZ Champs last season where they were able to beat Order both times, but I just have a little bit more faith in Order coming into this kind of a tournament. They're both wildly inconsistent teams, so that's what makes it so hard to call.
Yep.
Yeah, and I personally feel like we're going to have to see, Blitz playing like he did the other day. He certainly impressed us. You've also got APOC there who sometimes naps, which is a bit unfortunate because he has the most experience on that team. If you look at everyone there, it feels like he's been around the longest. Sterling as well was finally firing up with the AWP again as well, and that is going to be a key in AVANT's performance today.
Yeah, it could be. I think Sterling is pretty consistent. I honestly don't think it's necessarily good if Sterling is hard carrying AVANT, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think a lot of other factors need to go their way. I think Ofnu can be a pretty important player when he's playing a little bit aggressively. Someone that has been stepping up, at least you guys have been telling me, is that Blitz has been playing reasonably well, like you just mentioned, Max. So that's going to be someone to keep an eye on to see how he sort of impacts the game, how he's going to be doing it, whether he's going to be picking up that secondary AWP. And then, in my opinion, the most critical player for AVANT every single time has to be Hazza. If Hazza's, disappointing and not having impact, you're not going to be seeing those high impact frags on the T side of him going in with the rifles and taking control of like Connector on Mirage or something like that, or maybe those multi frags on the CT side with the M4, because he's one of the sickest M4A4 players I've seen when he's actually on.
Yeah, I think the whole thing for AVANT here is that they need to have their riflers firing up. So not just your Hazza. I think Ofnu's been very quiet recently as well, which is a bit of an issue. There's not much else to say beyond that. It's always a case of how well they can go overall. Because if they just come to the series to get banged out, nothing they can do.
Yeah, well, we were talking about Blitz before, and we are just going to have a little highlight of Blitz as well. So, Meter Peter,
Weapon Spatula.
Weapon Spatula? What?
There you go. He's a bit sick on the grill, apparently. There you go.
What's going on there? That's a little bit lost. But look, Pete, he's the secondary AWPer. He was picking up the AWP the other day and impressing us again. Look, we haven't seen him on it for a long time. He's been taking that rifling role and doing a very good job. But after picking up the big green again, it seems to be the answer to AVANT success.
Yeah, he's a very versatile player. He's someone that can read the game super well. He's very, very intuitive in terms of how he understands the game. He does a lot of homework. He knows when it's a good time to push. He knows how to play off his teammates well and to support as well as take over the game. So he's pretty much like one of those Swiss Army knives. Essentially, he could do a little bit of everything, and he could do it pretty well.
Yeah, but the problem is he's not a specialist in anything, which is I sometimes find a bit of an issue, right? Because
Isn't he a specialist with the spatula?
yeah, potentially
There you
so.
go.
But if you decide to take a spatula into this matchup against Order, and you think you're going to win with the spatula, I'd ask you to think again because this isn't a barbecue. This is a matchup.
Well, he's a pretty big
Yeah.
boy, you know. And speaking of Order, we do have to have a quick discussion about Order as well. It is going to be the battle of two teams. So as you can see, you've got Ali, Gyro, Valustillo, and Ricky on the lineup. And look, there's a couple of names. We talk about the secret of three, and when three of the players on this team are all firing up at the same time, that is when Order find their success. Now, you're going to be looking at Ali, the superstar AWPer on the team. If he's having a lackluster performance, then it takes a lot from the riflers to try to bring it back.
Yeah, I think Alistair's been reasonably consistent since he had a bit of a lackluster performance in ANZ Champs, so I'm not too worried about him. I think the main people that I'm keeping an eye on is how well Ustillo's playing and Gyra. I think Valiance is reasonably consistent as well, so it's the other three. It's really whether Ricky's in that hard carry form or whether he's picking up that secondary AWP and having a lot of impact there. And then I think by far the most important player is Ustillo because he's in a lot of those critical anchor positions, kind of like Hazard in some regard, but a little bit different. I think if Ustillo's playing well, if you see Ustillo who's on like an 18 to 20 bomb in one half, Order's usually wiping the floor with the other team. They're usually up like 10-3 or something like that.
Yeah, maybe sometimes, but also they have the tendency to actually lose these leads as well. You can see them sometimes go up to a 9-0 lead because you have one person that's playing very well, but not necessarily because it's a good crossfire. It's because he's just kind of, Ustillo is just pushing and killing. So that's my problem sometimes, is that Ustillo is very aggressive as a player, and there's nothing wrong with that. But when you have an aggressive player that's getting all the kills and winning you the rounds, it does leave you the tendency to maybe drop a few here and there because the other players aren't really ready for it. They haven't really gotten combat ready in the rounds where they do receive the opponent.
Well, when I see that aggression pretty much translating into success, it is when there is the support from the rest of the players. There's obviously the communication saying that they are going to be going forward. And speaking of Ustillo, look, here he is. The weapon that he likes to use is rifle. So break that one down for me.
An AWP is a rifle.
There you go.
I guess he's AWPing now. Easy. No, Kevin?
No.
Okay, fair
Definitely
enough.
not. No, definitely
Maybe
not.
just leave that one for Ricky or Alistair. They're pretty proficient with those.
Well, at least he's good at using the gun. Look, we've got to think about that rather than a spatula.
Someone has to say weapon gun. Like, that's what I want to see. Because
He's just good with everything,
If you're good with gun, I think Sterling, if you were going to highlight Sterling, I'd say gun.
Well, he can use whatever, right?
Yes,
so,
exactly. So
Well,
it's
before we get the guns in hand, we need to figure out which maps we're going to be going to today, and that brings us to the Vito. So we are going to see what we're not going to be playing, what we are going to be playing for this game in particular. So where aren't we going to be going? I feel like we're going to see Overpass banned from Order.
Yeah, we're definitely not going to see Vertigo from Avant, that's for sure. That's their instant ban, and I'd probably agree with the Overpass as well.
Yeah.
That said, though, maybe even a Train ban? I
probably
don't know
not.
if I was for Order, if I would be confident versing Avant on Train, but
No, I think they're both pretty
They're pretty
comfortable playing
confident? Yeah,
Train.
fair enough.
Yeah, I wouldn't see Train go out in the first stage. That's definitely not something that you'd reserve for the first stage ban.
Well, I feel like we've hit the nail on the head, and it's probably going to be a Vertigo Overpass first ban, so let's have a look. And we've done our homework, so it looks like they've done their homework as well. But where do you think we are going to be going with the picks?
So this is where it does get interesting, where you're going to see, is a team going to try to counter-strat their opponent a little bit by picking a map that their opponent might be somewhat familiar with, and they want to try and get a good read on how they play it based off, reviewing how they want to play it, or are they going to more so play to their strengths? These teams, they share a lot of maps that they're both reasonably comfortable with once you get those two out of the way. So, it's a question of whether they do want to go to the middle of the map pool and actually go towards things like Mirage, which are a little bit inconsistent, or whether they do want to play your Trains and Infernos.
I mean, this is really an Avant pick, right? Do they go Dust 2 firstly and just kind of like keep it in the middle? We know that they love picking Dust 2 a lot of the time, or is it going to be something more specialized like Train on Nuke?
I think
it'll be Dust 2, in all honesty.
I think they went Inferno against Order because they felt like Order's Inferno was very shaky in ANZ Champs, and it actually worked out very well for them. They were able to win a lot of those games.
That being said, look, I do remember Order's Inferno being very shaky, but they have tightened it up from what we saw the other day. So I don't know if the Vito's going to go like that. I'm feeling like we might see a bit of a nuke in there, maybe. Or I feel like, let's bring them up. Let's see where we're going. Train,
Train,
and
yep.
nuke.
Train and nuke.
Okay.
Okay, so I was expecting maybe the Train pick. It was a 50-50 between Train and Dust 2. I don't think they pick Inferno because I'd counteract the point that they lost against Paradox in Inferno and they looked really bad on it. Let's be realistic. If you're losing because Luke's just triple peeking you at mid, it's like the whole, maybe it's like MIBR, maybe you shouldn't be picking Inferno until you figure out what's going on. So you'd be happy letting it fall to a third map. You probably still want to go to a Dust 2 as opposed to a Mirage or whatnot. But Nuke, yeah, I can see that from Order as well. It's not really surprising. I like seeing a couple of different other maps, so...
The thing is that Avant used to play a fair bit of Nuke when they started with their lineup. It's a map they haven't really been getting as many reps in on as of late, so maybe that's them being a little bit shakier on it in practice or something like that. Would be interesting to see.
Yeah, well, I guess we are going to see it, so we'll see how they fare. And both teams are going to be starting on that CT side as well, which, oh, that's going to actually leave us with Inferno gone. So, if Inferno left, rather, there's no Mirage, no Dust 2.
Pretty surprised to see Avant get rid of Mirage as well. Like, yeah, Mirage and Nuke was like, I think when this lineup first came together, I was thinking this map pool of Mirage, Dust 2 and Nuke was like kind of what I expected them to go towards a lot of the time. So you can just see things have evolved quite a bit over time. You know, teams obviously play each other. Teams get more inconsistent on the map. You know, you've had Inferno go from a first pick from some of these teams to now being left as the third map. Both of them showing inconsistencies. In fact, actually, both of them had that problem against Paradox where they threw away massive leads and ended up losing the game. Literally, both of those teams did that. So those kind of things can shake your confidence and change what kind of maps you're comfortable going towards in an important series.
Yeah, well, now that we know the veto, do you still think your prediction is going to be accurate?
No.
What was it? Train, Nuke, Inferno. Yeah, I think I'm pretty confident for Order, to be honest.
Confident for Order? Okay.
Confident
do you think this veto favors into Order's hints?
I think at this stage, the coin is actually more accurate than my predictions, so I'm not going to say anything. Just remember Road to Rio, my predictions were absolutely shite, so yeah.
All right.
That's the easiest way of putting it. Don't trust on what I'm saying for which team's going to win.
I think it's still going to go to 3, but there is that 2-0 potential in there as well. It just depends on who comes out of the gate swinging first.
There's 2-0 potential for both teams. It's like Kev said, you know, it comes down to those critical rounds, come down to the big plays, the clutches, the economy breaking rounds, those kind of things. You know, these two teams, there's only one thing for sure, and that it's going to, if they're both bringing a good level to this game, it's going to come down to a double digits game. It's going to be very, very close.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised to see overtime either. So, especially once again, you can have the rounds where you think you broke the enemy economy, but oh wait, we've got a 4 or 5 round loss bonus. We can still buy in this.
Yeah, well, if we look at the head-to-head here on Train, both teams have been playing it quite a lot recently, and the win rate is looking a little bit better for Avant there, and even with the pistol round, 67%, although yesterday, look, this is Oceanic CS. We were looking at a lot of the Chinese Thai CS yesterday. The pistol rounds didn't look too good here. This is pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's pretty evenly distributed. I think both of these teams are quite sick on the pistols. I think they're both pretty good train teams, so that's why it's always a little bit dangerous unless you have a really good read or you're feeling really confident to pick a map like that as your first pick, because exactly like you said, there's that potential to get yourself 2-0'd.
Yeah, and look, going into Train as the first map as well, even Betway is just slightly favouring Order. I don't know if that's just because of the map pick. Maybe they've got the more reps on the map as well, but after seeing what Blitz could do with the big green the other day, I'm a little bit scared for Order.
Yeah, they both have great double AWP setups though. So,
of course,
you know, everything you say for Avant, I mean, I feel like that could go the same way for Order.
Yeah, I was about to say, are you sure we're seeing the same game? Because it was Blitz on the rifle that impressed me more than the AWP, in all honesty. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're getting into the game. We are live, and it is time for the pistol. Both teams starting on the CT side, on the defense, on their respective map picks, well, from the choice rather. Anyway, it is going to be a faster approach towards the outer side, smoke towards Con, giving some space here for APOC to go forward, but it's going to be the 5v4.
Yeah, they've already lost that pick over the top of the smoke, and you can see the retake on this bomb train from Order. Avant's trying to force things forward and just getting punished at every twist and turn, getting absolutely nothing out of this round. A 5-0 sweep. Order looked like they were more than ready for that. You could see just how controlled they were in a round like that.
They didn't even take a single point of damage.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Valens just deletes them from the server.
Yeah, I mean, it was the right side bomb train smoke. He just one-wayed over the top of it. He gets that one pick, immediately falls back. No one from Order is on 2 different pages about what's happening in that round. They're all playing full retake on that bomb train, holding, you know, fairly passive angles, waiting for the Ts to get over-aggressive and push past that right side of bomb train. And you could just see all of these kills. It's all of the Ts trying to swing wide, trying to make something happen that are getting punished time and time again before the bomb's even gone down.
Val showing up at the perfect moment.
Yep, well, it is actually the force out of Avant. See if they're going to be able to do anything with it. A bit of a slower approach from them.
Yep, gunfire's been exchanged, so Avant, or Order now know that Avant have forced up into this, but Sterling's taken a bit of damage, so Alistair looking to do some more chip damage down. His Gyro is just trying to hold on to T-Connector, and he's doing a pretty solid job of that.
Looking pretty confident, just dancing on top of the train, taking multiple duels, multiple angles with that M4 and winning them all. Not really contested so far. That's really not worked out well for APOC, just dropping straight into Valiance's crosshair. And at this point, I mean, feels like Avant are kind of just getting blasted out of the server these last couple of rounds. Obviously too early to call anything, but I mean, it's quite scary to see a CT team get off to a very, very good start on CT side of train. I mean, having 5 players surviving in a round like this and then going into an anti-eco, you're going to have a very healthy economy going forward. That just makes it all the harder for a T-side team to make anything happen. And again, no damage inflicted. I mean, the pistol's one thing, but for investing that much on the T-side and getting not a single kill out of it, that's got to hurt.
They just got absolutely deleted, and I mean, often he just peeked into about 3 people looking at him, so that's never a good feeling when you come into T-Connector and go, all right, can I at least do a little bit of damage? And the answer is no.
Well, let's see if Avant can find themselves their first kill for the map so far, as we do head into the third. Big nade into T-Con, but Avant just very passive in their approach so far, looking for some information before making a decision. But given their positions here, it looks like they're going to be prodding toward brown holes. Ustillo sends them packing. And Order just have the answer for everything Avant is doing right now.
Good for Avant if they can pick up maybe 1 or 2 weapons off the CTs with a couple of these P250s. Maybe even a bomb plan as well is going to help their economy quite a bit, but they'll still have a full buy coming into the next one for the majority of their players.
I mean, looking at what Order's working with, I would imagine the next round they're probably just going to be holding on to these Galils, maybe even a Scout if they aren't losing that. So it's not even like Avant's necessarily going to be going up against a full buy next round. It's going to be more of a bonus round, not a complete bonus round, but again, you know, 5 players surviving. Look how much cash is in the bank. 7. This is the dream start.
Valence is on 10 kills, dude. 3 rounds. He's just going, all right, guys, I'm here to frag, ready to go.
It's a dream start for Order. It's going to be very, very, very hard for Avant to get back in this game because they're going to have to win 3 gun rounds back-to-back to break the CT economy.
And look, Ricky and Ustillo seeing absolutely no action, it seems, at the present moment.
Not really their fault.
Change up. Of course. Valiants are just stealing the spotlight at the moment.
Pretty slow round at the start here for Avant. Seeing some utility being thrown towards T-Con, towards outside, just making the CTs aware that there is a player in that part of the map, that they might be applying some pressure with that sandwich smoke, while the rest of Avant, they're grouped up towards inner. Ricky, that's very brave from him. He's gathered a lot of information, drops the Molotov and buys time for that rotation to come in from Ustillo. Obviously going to be quite hard to hold an inners bus, though, with a Famis and a Galil. You can see it is just this full bonus. So if Order wins a round like this, they're pretty comfortable heading up to like 5-6 rounds at this point. Because this is just, you know, basically whatever they picked up off the ground. Literally just scavenged from the second round T-buy that they brought into this full gun round. Not a whole lot of utility left for Avant either, so they really need to be smart about how they're going to approach the rest of this round.
So it looks like Sterling might be trying to fake a bit of Ivy presence. The bomb's still orientated over at B, so maybe just trying to draw off the CTs for it. And that shoulder peek doesn't go punished. Unfortunate for the Ts, but look at this. A triple stack on the B bomb site as it's hitting the 30-second mark. Looks like Order have a read of the situation. They brought the man of the hour, which is Valiance. And here we go. Out comes the B-side execute.
Still low in a perfect spot, but it is going to be a trade from Hazard. Val only good for the one this round. Finally falling. The Titan goes down, and there it is. 3v2 now. Avant with man advantage. Bomb needs to cross to site. Nade in the perfect spot, but Ofnu still surviving with 36 HP. Ali trying to go for the upgrade. Has the Deagle in hand. Manages to get the trade to work, but now he's only got 12 HP in the 1v2. Ofnu pushes forward and finds the first round for Avant.
It's good damage with that bonus, so you're going to see Order reinvest now. Avant, losing 3 weapons, have to reinvest pretty much all of their cash to be able to put another buy on the board here and reduce their loss bonus by 1. Picking that one up. Have to say, that probably could have gone the way of Order if Ricky actually connects with the Famis. Well, day though, Famis is absolutely garbage.
That's it. That's a big job in itself, just trying to land bullets at a medium range.
I mean, he's basically a Famis is just like a 2-meter long spaghetti noodle when you're trying to shake it at somebody hoping it does something.
I don't have any experience with that. Would you like to tell me more?
Maybe later. I could tell you about my long history as an expert pasta maker.
Ooh.
Ooh, fast hitters bus coming out though, and Offnu's actually beaten the timing.
Oh.
Great shot coming out from Offnu to take down the B-side anchor. That's a save from Order.
Yeah,
You can't go into that.
That's one way to win a round. Very clean entry. Full white from Offnu. Takes out Ricky, and that's going to force, exactly like you said, Order straight on the save.
And that's mind games, because they know that Ricky is trying to delay the utility. They know that Ricky is trying to play close here, so they're trying to punish him, trying to change up his protocols. And it's working an absolute charm, because what better way than coming in 2 rounds in a row and being just smashing aside Order's defense?
Yeah, well, look at what Order's gone and done as well, though. 1 loss, and they are straight on the save. So as soon as Ricky falls, they are aware that the economy is in a decent way right now. And if they keep these 4 rifles forward, there is a buy into the next round, and then 1 after that as well. That being said, AVANT still need to string these rounds together, but I don't think Ricky's going to get caught off guard like that for a second time.
Well, it's good that AVANT haven't gone for any kind of a hunt here. They're going to really conserve their T-side economy. That's going to give them the opportunity to potentially lose a round, be able to consolidate that and reinvest in the next round, should they do so. Same thing for Order, though. Only having to drop over 1 gun. 6 of 15 times.
That's not a great...
6 of 15, 40%? Yeah. All right.
Still not great. Means that you've lost more. You won 6, lost 9. Valiance. Sterling missing. Oh. That's not good for Sterling.
No, you don't see that too often, and that's going to be 2 opportunities missed by Sterling now. A bit unfortunate for the man, but let's see what AVANT can do to get back into the round. It's a rough position to be in, as Hazard is going for the double drop. Valiance, the victim of timing.
It was just him. Just himself.
It was just a single drop.
Yep.
What do you know?
Just decided to roll up his sleeves and get in there. It's going to give the even man situation back to AVANT. Maybe get them feeling a little bit more comfortable. Just 2 apiece for Order at this point. Now rotating Ricky back towards that outer bomb site. And AVANT sizing up this outer split. Again, second person caught off guard like that in SL.
Pop gets the job done, and that's going to be the 2-man advantage. Ali, you can't afford to be missing those shots in this situation. Burning alive. It's APOC to deal the deathly blow, and now it's all up to Gyra for anything in the round. But I dare say he is just looking for some exits, although he is going to prod forward here at Old Bomb.
Might even go down. APOC's already on the hunt, has 3, wants more. And this is a problem when you have only 1 person popping off. You can see that the rest of Order right now, not really ready to receive. You're seeing Alistair with shots. You're seeing Ricky getting punished as well. You're seeing your SL players getting deleted afterwards. Not a good look.
Looks like Hazard is going to make this flank happen. APOC falls, but Gyra's got no idea that his ex-teammate is still right next to him. And there it is, the equalizer. We are all tied up, 3 apiece. AVANT getting it done nice and early on the T side.
Yeah, they've been able to turn it around. Made a massive dent in that CT side economy after winning a round like that, winning 2 gun rounds back-to-back. That's put them straight back into contention for this game, and I would say with how clean those last couple of rounds have been, they've got a fair bit of money to fall back on themselves. You will see, though, Order, they're actually going to force up. It is the double AWP, the Famises. So not a full buy by any stretch, especially where the utility is concerned. They will really rely on this AWP's connecting.
They haven't really connected so far, and that's my concern. All 3 of them, actually. We'll see if this round is the changing factor, as once again, the pace is a little bit slower this time around.
Oh, Ali at the ready, not going to whiff that time. Will win the engagement against the opposing AWPer. Sterling falling. And a man advantage again, but let's see how AVANT crack the code to get back into the round. Looking like we are going to see the triple man push over towards Ivy. Going back to where Sterling did fall. Looking to maybe find some revenge. Look at Order's setup here, the positioning, all just conglomerated straight towards the middle of the map.
Yeah, I think when you're in a man advantage situation, I mean, they've already been punished for having players down in towards SL. They're just going to play things a little bit more passively, especially with the clock running down. Could definitely work out well for them. But now, starting to creep through Ivy, APOC makes his way down SL. And out comes this wrap in towards Hell.
Molly dropped a bit short by Val. It is going to be the A bomb site, as now they know Stillo's on the bomb side. He can't even do a single point of damage.
Good positioning, and again, it is Ofnu just tearing through. He's only got 3 HP, but it's Jyra and Ricky 2v4. This is looking like yet another Avant round, but Order this time, they're going to test the defense here. Smoke about to fade. Blitz on the other side. He's happy to play the off angle. Jiggles forward. Now he's going to fall. That's an opportunity, unfortunately, for Jyra. Ricky, his teammate, has fallen. And Avant, they are going to be locking this round down, although it's going to cost them. Hazza swinging wide, looking for some extra information. And information is not all they're going to get. It's APOC to find the final blow. That's going to be 4 on the board, and the lead found from Avant.
Yeah, doing a good job to completely turn this game around. Order had the dream start, and Avance immediately struck back with a very impressive string of T rounds. Now they've got plenty of cash in the bank. You're going to see Order. They're going to have to take the singular save. Next round, they definitely do have the money to be able to put together a very, very solid buy in terms of the utility. Maybe even grab that double AWP again. But I'd say, I mean, so far so good for Avant. Already 4, potentially 5 rounds on the board here. They would be feeling pretty comfortable moving forward on train.
Let's see if Zeus gets it done. Unfortunately for Jyra, he will be hard cleared. Thorough approach from Avant. Eagle almost working out. And Ustillo unable to go for the trade. It's Hazza eating up all the eco frags. Ricky and Ali going to be going shoulder to shoulder on the flank here. APOC certainly at the ready, but he's not going to expect the second man. Just in case, doubles back, everything else is covered, so why not at this point? And there's Ricky's going to be found as well. 2k for APOC, 2k for Hazza. And a solid looking scoreline already here on the first map of the series. If Avant can pull this one, there is a chance. There is a chance that we're going to see a 2-0.
Absolutely. Avant starting CT nuke in this kind of form. Definitely not out of the realms of possibility as attack pause finally called by Order. You can see there, I mean, so far it really looks like a battle of maybe a couple of people from Avant against a couple of people from Order.
Look, you'd be right. Ricky still napping. Blitz, Sterling and Ustillo also not having scorches yet. Still on the warm-up.
Yeah, I don't know. Train is kind of a map sometimes, though, where it'd be like that, you know. You have a couple of gun rounds, you get the wrong timing, you get some T running straight down lower ramp and headshotting you. Happens to the best of us.
Look,
Ricky is pretty good.
I want to do a study. I want someone out there to do a study for me because obviously I'm too lazy to actually do it and see which Counter-Strike players play better in the cold and which Counter-Strike players play better in the heat. Because, look, it's going to get hot in most matches, but... okay, hold that thought.
That's B-site lost already. That's it.
Down on the B-site.
They're trying to play anti-flash at the moment, and the Order is trying to read the situation against Avant, but Avant's coming out ahead at the moment.
Okay.
I mean, it's essentially just scissors, paper, rock, really. I mean, Avant, they're so far ahead in terms of the T-side money that they don't have to play standard. If they throw a little bit of a spanner in the works, if they go for just a try push straight down lower ramp and they lose, so what? They just go for another buy. They probably have another buy following that, and that's just the luxury that you afford yourself once you actually get a bit of a lead and get a bit of a money on the T side. You can actually throw these missed plays because there's not as much risk factor. If you're completely broke and you're going to get reset in the next round, maybe they do play a default. But in a round like this, not only can they afford to do a missed play like that, but they can afford to just continually hunt and try to kill every CT, because if they lose players on the way in, their money is much less valuable than the CTs, who are going to be forced to take a singular save here.
Well, speaking of money, you could see just how important it was for Avant to make sure Order didn't save that up, didn't save that M4 over into this 10th round. And as you mentioned, now the money's broken again.
Your study's been done, Mac.
What about cold? Does he play good in the cold? Haha.
Thanks, text guy. Very glad that someone's gone and done the research already. I must have missed that paper.
What about Rip Pablo Escobar? What climate does he play best?
I reckon he plays best in the Caribbean. As Jyra tries to challenge an angle. This is just all going terribly wrong right now. But Valiance tries at least to equalize the situation. It is just going to be the pistols and maybe the single scout. 4v4. And Order just getting that single pick has actually forced Avant to slow down for now. Forced to look on the other sides of the map, but look at this push from Alistair as well. Might be able to catch Blitz off guard. Alistair's managed to make all the way.
This is potentially more dangerous. The fact that he's now up behind 2 Ts. Trigger discipline allows him to get into this position as well. No one in their cell. Blitz has no idea. Ustillo is going to be drawing this attention. This is Order about to cause an upset as long as Ali hits his stride at the perfect moment. AK retrieved as well as the bomb. Oh, that's going to be an AWP in his hand. And now it's the 2v1. They don't realize Blitz's position here.
Yeah, but Alistair's got the favorite angle at the moment, and Blitz is going to go up, make noise. Alistair's not going to miss that. And Order managed to sneak one out just on the back of some aggression. Some great shots being landed from some of the Deagles as well. Ustillo making his mark in that round.
Doesn't fill you with a whole lot of confidence, though. They win with a handful of Deagles, maybe some, you know, some fights going pretty favourably for Order. We're going to have to see in the gun rounds, you need players like Ustillo, like Ricky, who are a little bit inconsistent for this Order roster to, you know, really turn up to this game in the gun rounds and start to put AVANT back in the bin.
Well, he's finally got the AWP out in to play, and it's actually Ali going very aggressive through Ivy to find a pick onto Ofnu. Hazard drawing first blood before he is still able to fight Blitz as well, all the way to hell, but it's going to be Valiant's falling down to his death.
I mean, can't be crab spraying at that kind of a distance, especially if you're not connecting the first couple of shots, regardless though. Ali makes the crab spray work at a little bit closer of a range. Now in this 1-on-3, Hazard, I'd say the name of the game essentially is just damage.
You can see that they went with Bogdan's Law, and it's still allowed Ali to frag up again with the M4. But Hazard in a 1v3, if there's anyone that's going to win it right now, it's him. The man is on 10 for 6, and he's hitting everything with the rifle. Ooh, there's the timing. Ali showing some patience there. Hazard should be aware that it is going to be 2 over towards Ivy. He just needs one more man to find and isolates a fight. Finds the first. Oh, disregards the second, but Ali whips for a moment, brings it back. And there it is. 5 on the board for Order, who are yapping at the heels of AVANT now.
Yeah, but AVANT can just recover from that and put another buy together. And as long as they are... as long as they're trading rounds, and even being a little bit of ahead in this game, they're pretty happy with that on train. Obviously, it's, I'd say, mostly considered the most CT-sided map in the pool, so if you're ahead on the T side, you're feeling pretty cruisy. Especially if your opponent won the pistol and the anti-ecos really cleanly and you've just been able to turn the game on its head.
Oh, and again...
He does get one,
He's
at the very least.
to get it, so he's on the board.
It's not really good, though. I mean, on CT side train, if you're playing 4-on-4, you're not terribly happy with that because you have to spread your forces so thin. There's so many extremities that are so annoying to hold on the CT side, which is partly why you see Ustillo pushing into T-Con. Can feel a little unfavorable unless you have a more centralized position that allows you to sort of gamble stack towards a different part of the map. Obviously, as long as he has T-Con control, you're going to feel a little bit safer in terms of, you know, going towards inners, in terms of maybe leaving different parts of the map open, because if the opponents do go and take that out as control, you can have Ustillo pop out of T-Con and cause some damage.
All right, a little bit of utility thrown over at the A-bomb site, but AVANT really aren't moving anywhere just yet. As Ofnu, critical duel against Ustillo at T-Connector. He does manage to win that one, means that Valiant's really just left in his lonesome right now in this open bomb yard. Alistair's trying to draw the threat away, and he almost unsilences it. He unsilences his rifle instead of clicking on the opponent. That's a mistake and a half, because that allows Hazard to get the bomb plant down and force a 3-on-2.
It was all about the timing. And it did not work out that time at all for Order. However, AVANT should be thanking their lucky stars as the man in the very open position was spotted. But now it's Ali in the 1v3 who's hunting for anything at this point, hoping that AVANT overstep their boundaries. And it looks like Ofnu may just do so. There's the first. The time is ticking. And AVANT, they are going to make sure they get every single T-sided round they can. So they will not give this one to Ali on a silver platter. It's AVANT 7-5.
Petition for there to be an option in the menu that is secondary fire is not unsilenced weapons and scope and everything else. Just unbind, unsilence. There's no point to unsilencing the gun anyway. It's just worse.
Have you not played with the unsilenced M4? It's actually pretty good.
It's not.
It's great.
It's worse.
I can tell you it's
across the
great.
board.
Look, what isn't great is the fact that you do it in the middle of a gunfight. You do it at the beginning of a round.
It's not good, Mac.
No, it's not good.
Thank you.
It's actually great. It shows your alphaness against your opponent.
It's actually worse.
That's why you guys
it's worse than a Galil.
This is why you guys are betas.
I'll take it.
Man,
Anyway,
I'm pretty alpha. I don't know about you, but
Alpha is actually unsilencing an M4 and using it at your opponent. It's going, I'm using an unserviceable gun and I beat you with it. Ha ha.
Wow.
You guys are currently just like, no, you can't just unsilence the M4 and use it. It's not a viable weapon. Haha, staple gun, go boom, boom.
Look, all this alpha speak has reminded me. Gyms are opening in just a couple of weeks, so I'm very excited for that. I'm sure you both are as well.
Totally. Can't wait to live with the boys.
Yes. That's what it's all about. Anyway, into the 13th round we've gone. We've gone. That's the word. Anyway.
Well, they're just taking half bar around the AWP. Flash out of T-Con in towards the sandwich smoke. See if they can deal better with the Deagles this time around, Avant. They definitely had some problems with them earlier.
When Justillo, not going to work out for him. 3 men fall in a matter of moments. Blitz as well, makes it 4, and there we are. Ali again will be last alive with the AWP, but he's got 4 or 5 men rather. I didn't even notice Hazard was still alive with just the 5 HP on the side there. And Ali will be looking to save, and APOC might fall victim again.
What an angle. Normally wouldn't be expecting that. The timing, I think, might have just favored Offnu. Had a suspicion, and that's the AWP actually lost. Doesn't matter. Order are still going to buy a single AWP into the next one. And Avant just dropping a few rounds, and they just go, you know what, let's just group up and hit the A site hard. Let's not overthink it.
I think they're pretty happy with where they're at. 8 to 5. They have enough money to be able to buy in the next round, even if they lose this one. They really haven't had any economic troubles this entire half, except for the first couple of rounds. So they're feeling pretty cruisy here on the T side. Order, on the other hand, can't go for that double AWP. Let's be real, it hasn't really been working for them at all. So maybe it will be better if they just have the rifle approach this time around.
Yeah, Ricky, still with that rougher approach to the game so far. Slow starter, hopefully on the T side, you'll have a better opportunity. There's still a couple of rounds here. And there is a couple of the Avant players over towards Ivy, looking to go toe-to-toe with Dryra, who's got no utility remaining. But that bomb, all the way in brown holes.
Yeah, setting up for a B-site split. Alistair, it's all down to... Oh, it drops the smoke. Not aware there's one close. But Offnu cannot punish that. Blitz trying to fire, trying to decoy the fact that there was one behind the smoke to try to obscure Offnu's footsteps. Not going to work out there.
It's all about the patience for Blitz here as he edges forward slowly at Ivy, but Ali, look, he's not known for his patience, but he's utilising it this time. Has a great crosshair placement to crack open the B site now. Minimal damage taken as he drops onto the ledge. Ricky is able to try and deny this one, but he's not going to win that fight. Again, APOC on fire with the jiggle. Straight on the head. We're back into the 3v4 situation for the retake.
I don't even know. Oh, so you go first, Mitch.
Only one kit, and not really much utility to be retaking, and Blitz is behind them. It's going to be pretty difficult.
I mean, I was about to say, do you even go for this? They've just lost pretty much every single one of their guns. They know where Gyra is, and you can already see Blitz on the hunt. No way that Gyra can stay alive. I would have thought that would have been a save situation for sure, because coming into the final round of the half, they don't really have much to work with. And that's the issue, right? The rounds that have worked for them was the beginning.
It's just been a flat performance from Order, and it's their individual players being really, really inconsistent that's been their downfall. Once again, like you're looking at Ricky, you're looking at Justillo, they just haven't turned up to this game. They've been bullied towards SL, they've been bullied towards Inner, and that's made a massive hole in Order's CT side defense. That's all there is to it, really.
Well, we were talking about the rule of threes, and even though there are 3 players performing for Order, there's 2 that are having a significant decline right now, and again, it's going to be a decline in the numbers as they're going to be thinned. Avant straight through Ivy, no holds barred. That's the A site found, 2v5. It's looking unlikely that Order is going to take this round. It should be a 10-5 situation.
4-on-2 now, but still CT connector being locked away. Gyro as well is going to compromise his position. Has to push in. And Sterling's waiting. Not much you can really do as Ricky here. You use a single flashbang. They know where you are.
And Hazard knows and hits it on the head. It's Sterling to take it in the end, but that's going to be the 10-5 half. What a situation as AVANT are going very strong into this second on their map pick. Onto the defense. Are they going to be able to take it? Certainly looks as much. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we have a short break. We'll see you for the second half shortly.
We're near the end, baby. No matter what we do, it keeps ticking away, ticking away. You are my summertime love in the faraway place. With your loving soul and that beautiful face. No one can know about the days I spent in your embrace. You're no good for me, it's what they're all gonna say.
Second pistol is upon us, and is it going to be AVANT to make this map look one-sided? It certainly seems that way already, but can Order fight back? We've seen them do it on the T side before, but can they do it again?
Yeah, you had individuals lagging behind for both sides in that first half. The thing is, it's a lot easier to sort of hide that away on the T side, whereas if you're getting abused in certain positions on the CT side, it just ends up being a gaping hole in the defense. You can't really consolidate, unfortunately. Either way, though, Order looking to turn around their fortunes on this T side with this play through Ivy.
Oh, and a solid crossfire there. It's going to be Blitz and APOC just shutting this one down from Order. Ricky able to trade through the smoke, but it's going to be him and Gyro versus the world. Blitz goes down to 3, and Gyro with this 50 looking for anything at long range, but it's Sterling who gets it done. And they are fully aware of Ricky's position, or at least it was 15 seconds ago, so there's only so many places he can be currently.
Yeah, but as more time dwindles away, then he's able really to strike from different sectors, and Blitz, as you said, 3 HP, a single Glock bullet is going to spell his undoing.
Missed opportunity. Ricky, unfortunately, is about to walk into a very large crossfire indeed. Sterling will take the final frag, and there it is. 11 on the board for AVANT, and now this is looking very dangerous for Order.
Yeah, it's looking very, very one-sided. Another pistol not going the way of Order is going to make it much harder. Or that pistol, rather. They did pick up the first one. See if AVANT are going to work their way through this anti-eco. Order just taking the singular save because they know they can get the AKs and the rifles. Some decent utility in the next. Waiting for someone to push Ivy, I guess. Having a bit of a team huddle.
I've seen this strat before, but this was back in Source, where you'd actually just have a tank just going through. 4 people as the tracks and 1 person on top.
Beautiful.
Don't think it worked, but...
Yeah, I'm not sure this will work. Like, they've got their sights set on the right position, but just with those Glocks there, it's going to be hard at that range.
Sometimes it's a good thing as well, just letting the CTs use all their utility as well. Nothing wrong with that. As they actually also get the dink shot onto APOC, they actually get a kill.
Pretty good. Whole bunch of utility wasted. Going to be losing a FAMAS or an MP9. Pretty happy with that.
Good position from Opnu, but unfortunately there is 3 Ts around the corner, not just the single man. Sterling tries to come in at the moment, but Flash gives just enough space for Valiant to get around the corner. Bomb has not been able to cross just yet. Ali trying to hold it down. Looks like could be thrown, but it is Hazza happily running forward with MP9, and that should be the round over and done with. Ustillo with the late push through A, but Sterling, he knows, and he's going to hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, definitely more than AVANT wanted to lose there against full Glocks, though. Unfortunate for APOC to get caught off towards Ivy there with a couple of Glock dinks that you don't really expect to come out. But as for Oftu, I mean, bit of an ill-advised push towards Inners there. Does end up losing himself his FAMAS and armor. So that's going to be expensive to reinvest. And you see the tolls of that on a couple of these players from AVANT in terms of their economy. Order. Fully investing in this round. It's the smoke onto Sandwich as well as E-Box. Nothing really behind that as they are in a 1-1-3. Majority of the troops over towards Ivy.
Yeah, heavy presence being shown here, and they're going loud as well. Letting AVANT know.
AVANT have control of SL now. They have 1 player posted on upper ramp who's now backing off. So they've got reasonable info in certain parts of the map. They're very well aware there's a lot of players over here towards Ivy. So they should have a pretty decent feel for what Order's trying to do in a round like this.
Sawdown and Sterling holding Ivy at the moment. Hasn't dropped any utility. As he's going to peek straight into the crosshair of Alistair. That's the A side actually completely open for business. Not much you can really do as Hazza here is out in the no man's land. He's going to be cleared very shortly, but he has a FAMAS still to fight with. Dancing around E-Box, trying to isolate these duels, somehow making the FAMAS work and actually buying time. Critical time for the rest of AVANT to start rotating over to the A bomb site.
And another opportunity now. Bomb yet to be planted as the site is barely secured. AVANT, they've gone on that rotation just at the perfect moment. Blitz wants to make his way into SL. Val happily holding. APOC wants to head forward. Ustillo in a rough position. And as he drops down, there's going to be no cover. Ricky survives with 27 HP. After the spam, it doesn't quite finish him off now. It's going to be Ustillo finding some extra, but it's a 1-for-1. Val in perfect position. Deals with Blitz as well. Now he can just hold his ground. 2 HP for APOC after taking Ustillo out. Perfectly played again from Valiance. That's going to be 3 on the board, and Order finding their first round here on the T side.
Yeah, and all of those guns that they lost against the full Glock ecos now starting to make their economy quite sad. Sterling's on a double eco. Rest of the lads are about 2k in the bank, and they are actually going to have to force off the back of that. So definitely has...
Whoa.
Okay.
All right.
Ouchies.
Can't just do them like that. Come on, man.
Actually, Dr. Disrespect, Mr. Text Guy.
Yeah, it's 3:15 now, not 3:14.
He's living in the past. Well, looks like it is going to be a couple of the boys living in the past. Back to the 3-on-3 as they are moving straight past all these bomb trains. APOC in a solid position to try and hold. Has it going to be spotted on the ladder? Back to the 2-on-2. APOC, if he can find this headshot in the 1-on-1. Val, ooh, goes down to 10 HP. Second opportunity gained. Now it's all up to Dryra in this 1v2 to try and clutch.
A really costly round for Order if they do drop this right now, but still a chance for Gyro to bring it back. Sterling, though, encroaching ever closer with a Deagle, spots Gyro out, trying to drop some utility. That's a very costly round to lose for Order. Sure, AVANT force bought into that, but that gives AVANT a huge, I guess, lead in the economy side of things now.
Yeah, Order, they're going to have a very, very weird state of money following this round. You're looking like 2.7, 3K. It's not enough to put a very convincing buy together. Jara's the only one with suitable money. So they're going to have to kind of decide what they want to do off the back of the fact that AVANT only survived with 2 players at the end there. They are actually just going to force buy and drop some AKs in exchange for some Deagles. Probably the best buy they could try and put together in a situation like this. Don't mind the approach. And all things considered, 3 AKs and utility sets, as well as only 1 player having to go armorless Deagle. It's not too bad of a buy to put together from Order, and it's a good approach to try and reset the money of AVANT, because their money's looking very shaky on the CT side here. Pretty high risk though. I mean, if Order loses a round like this, you're going to see AVANT probably head up to 15 post anti-eco, but it's a good start. Ricky's found himself a pick early on.
And that could be another rifle to retrieve, but Order just playing their own game over here for now towards A, but Blitz is in such a strong position. It's just a matter of moments till the flash comes through, but it looks like it's going to be the utility used by AVANT to stop the push out of T-Con.
Yep, hearing the person fall as Order are trying to utilize a bit of a boost, a bit of a one-way over that smoke to see if they could catch anyone lurking around E-Box and SL. It's actually going to eventually work in the favor of AVANT as Blitz finds the timing and just slides away.
Order trying to decide what they want to be doing here. Running around in showers and brown halls. Now grouping up back towards inner. Sterling playing that off angle towards upper. Blitz not really going to be able to do a whole lot from Connector with an MP9, so now starts to push his way towards the bomb train as Order just storms straight down lower ramp. But Sterling in an excellent position.
Beautiful. 2, well, it's actually just the 1. Blitz gets 1 as well, and APOC denies that wrap with the bomb. That's going to be bomb control for AVANT, and it should be 14 found now. Ricky last alive, and his performance so far this map has been a bit lackluster, but he's finally starting to fire up. However, is it too late? He'll have to ace it to have any opportunity in this round, and I don't want to play it up because I don't expect it to happen.
He's got no time. And that's a bit of a death sentence for Order, unfortunately, because you're looking at AVANT. They're on 14 now. Order's got 2.4k in the bank across all of their players, as well as an armored AK. They're forced to go for another pretty lackluster buy. Probably a worse buy than they had in the last round. And AVANT, if they're able to deal with an anti-eco or an anti-force, they're going to put themselves on 15. So, you know, it's a high risk, high versus high reward play from Order in that last round. It's a winning mentality play, but when it doesn't work out, you've put yourself very, very, very far behind, almost in an unwinnable situation here.
Yeah, well, you've got to give props to AVANT as well, just throwing the right utility at the perfect moments to reroute Order back into their hands, into the solid defense on that B site. And again, it looks like it is the B site that Order are currently targeting, although that bomb's still in T-spawn.
Yeah, they're just going to save around this AK. I feel like that round, I mean, they had the initial pick. It just all came down to the indecision in the mid-round. They were just running around in brown halls and white halls, not really making up their mind about what they wanted to do with that man advantage. And from there, it really fell apart. And then you're losing your AK to someone peeking you on an angle like that with a FAMAS. It doesn't feel good. At least Usilo's got some armor to be able to retrieve that AK. Might be able to do something with it.
Order certainly looking lost at this moment. As getting some minimal damage there onto Alistair. Looks like we will be seeing the double drop setup. 2 towards T-Con. Order. They're looking to target the AE site. Double drop doesn't work out. Hazard deals with it perfectly. And APOC wants to finish off the round. Quick Smart going forward up on the top of blue. Supportive flash. He's heard Val going to the short side, who will continue to fight, but the Deagle doesn't quite work out this time. There it is, 15 on the board, and they have 9 map points to work with.
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty much a death sentence for Order. You know, it would be nice to see them start to string a few rounds back together, try to make this close, but end of the day, a 15-6 deficit is pretty much impossible to be able to close. They're going to take a tactical timeout. Yeah... It's just another one of these games that's gone missing for Order. Some of the players have shown up, some of the players haven't. And, Yeah, it's just not really worked out for them. Luckily, it's their opponent's pick, so they will be able to try to go into nuke and try to, you know, reverse things. Sometimes you do see these one-sided scorelines in these domestic matchups between the top teams, and it doesn't always necessarily mean that Avant's going to win this series. Often you do see things reverse in the next map, and things flip-flop quite often. So it's not over yet for Order, especially if they can take a few rounds in the next few to try to turn around the momentum, try to get their mentality back in before they head into nuke. That's what I'm really looking for Order.
Yeah, I mean, and you have to look at the majority of the rounds that have been won for Avant on that T side has been on the back of just being able to exploit that B bomb site as well. And as Mitch pointed out earlier on, if you're just winning that rock, paper, scissors, not much you can really do on that CT side. If you just lose your guess, that's it. Just forced into the save every single time. Look, Order still at least have a serviceable buy coming up into potentially the final round.
Ricky does manage to sneak his way across there at Brown Horse. Order. Looking like the audible has been called. Bomb now staying over towards, or getting handed off to Ali. Leaving Ustillo with less utility over towards Arby. Ali with that flash and smoke will be able to go for much stronger execute. But look at Blitz, he's all the way in. Ali's dealt with him perfectly, but that's the bomb spotted. So this may just trigger a rotation from APOC back towards the A site. But Avant, with this aggressive positioning here at the yard, they might just not have to bother.
Well, Ricky's trying to draw at Hazard at the moment. That's not going to work whatsoever. The flashbang, not effective either. As Valiant takes a lot of damage. Now Sterling as well, trying to hold on now. Waiting for the rotations to come forward as Order. Slow down the push. Sterling's gun barrel has been spotted out. Great flashbang coming out from his teammate in Valiance. But still, it's now Stillo doing the heavy lifting. Trying to get all the kills, trying to deny the CT rotations. Bomb's going to go down. APOC's going to spot at least one of the members, but he can't land the shot on the most critical one at all. So Order do manage to at least extend the game a little bit. Try to force a comeback. But so many rounds they need to find in a row.
Yeah, that's it as well. And Ustillo, he managed to finally get himself 3K there, so firing up, but it's looking like it's too little too late at this point.
Yeah, it's good to see him start to warm up a little bit. If he can bring some of that form into nuke, then that would be pretty good for Order. Every single round that they continue to claw away at the end of this this map, it's good for their mentality, it's good for the momentum. Forces Avant to expend extra energy just trying to finish this one off. And you can see they are really starting to get warmed up here.
There it is, Ali, long range, manages to pull that spray into a headshot, and it's all up to APOC again, but this time it's 1v5, so even less likely than the previous that he's going to clutch this one.
Yeah, just looking to do some damage. I think Avant should be able to buy in the next one. Haven't really fully invested. I mean, Hazard and Blitz might go lacking a little bit in utility. My concern is with off-news money. Just a little bit, because you can't really afford the full set of utility if you decide to go with an M4, I think, in that context.
I think they'll be right. Got a little bit of loss bonus built up. They've saved pretty passively. You would be expecting to see someone like Hazard probably in towards SL or something like that anyway. So not sure he's going to care too much. Missing an extra flash or a kit. 3.9, definitely on the low side. Blitz as well. But yeah, off news, all right.
All right.
Ooh, we're going to see the shuffle.
Double AWP coming out, but it's not Blitz with the AWP. It's actually APOC picking up the secondary AWP.
Interesting. Well, when you got match point with these double AWPs, all it really takes is just 1 or 2 shots connecting, and you can have a much easier time at closing this game out.
Oh.
That's not going to be a great start, though.
Yeah, Sterling caught a no man's land, and the flashbang's very effective as Jara's first man out. Now Hazard looking to put his hand up.
Jara, he's edged around the corner and has managed to be traded out. Blitz gets the job done, but Order maintain this man advantage.
Once the AWP's finally made its way through 3 or 4 people's hands, we get to see Blitz secondary AWPing. It's pretty good. He might actually be in the perfect position to use it as well if he's just directs his attention towards upper ramp, but he's missed the timing.
It's a 1-for-1, but manages to make it even Stevens. 2v2 now. Bomb goes down on default. Rotation coming in late from Ustillo. And they're still hunting for Apoc's position, but it looks like he could be found at the moment. Molly going very deep indeed. Apoc still pushing forward. Whoa, and Ali fights for his right. Blitz now needs to go big to have any opportunity, but it could be the AWP save that he's after, and that is exactly what he's going to do.
I was about to say, very small opportunity for AVANT to actually go in on that one, identifying where both Ts were. Smoke was deployed for inner ramp, and you knew that the bomb carrier was still most likely hanging around default as Blitz was able to shift around there very quickly and post on the angle. Doesn't work for them, unfortunately, at the end of the day, as Alistair's able to hold on.
Yeah, look, inner bomb site on chain is one of the more sort of retakeable bomb sites in CS, but it's only if you've got the correct utility to be able to smoke off and molly off some of those angles, maybe smoke the bomb. They didn't have any kits. They're trying to complete a retake with the double AWP. It's, you know, it doesn't matter which bomb site you're doing, you know, they had so many factors going against them. It's not going to be easy to complete that one. So that's going to put AVANT on another singular save, and Order starting to get fired up a little bit here.
Again, putting some focus over towards Ivy early. Ustillo playing anti-flash, waiting and allowing Ali to go for the pick. Apoc, he's got himself the Zeus in the corner. He's going to be cleared as well, so having a bit of deja vu from the first half. This time, it's Order looking to win the anti-eco. This time, though, Ricky, he's already fallen. Awkward situation. Val gets his AK out just at the perfect moment. Now it's Sterling and Blitz to try to get any damage done.
Yeah, Sterling spots the gun barrel out, but Alistair's not going to be facing it, which means that eventually one of the riflers is going to come forward and complete the mission.
Speaking of missions, it's Blitz's mission at the moment to try and keep this AWP alive, carry it across into the next, so at least there's an AWP to play with for AVANT as we head towards the 26th round.
Well, Order, they got themselves up to double digits. It's good to see. Let's seeing if he can make this one even more expensive, but a 1-for-1. And has already got the AWP on Order, so not interested in that double AWP, even though that's something we've actually seen from them. Seen them double AWP on the T side on a couple of different maps. Usually Ricky taking that secondary.
Boy, there's some dirty windows. Why didn't you clean them, Pilly?
I don't know. I don't have an answer for you, Mac. I don't know what you expected me to say, really. But maybe I'm just lazy. Too much Counter-Strike casting.
I heard you mean with the windows. Kev was telling me earlier.
Mean with the windows?
Yeah, aren't you mean with the windows? Well, you cracked a couple in your time.
Cracked a couple of windows?
Yeah.
Are
Well,
you...
if you at home think that Pilly is actually a window cracker, please get involved with the conversation with DH Masters on Twitter. Please, thank you.
Okay.
I was about to say maybe more Counter-Strike related as opposed to Pilly's secondary ventures or adventures.
We talking about software here?
I don't know what would...
Operating systems?
It's going to be fast, eh?
Yep.
So no windows to be washed or cleaned here, just dead bodies. As Sterling just pretty much punishes them for coming out. Also gets that wallbang to Alistair, I think. Could have been an HE nade earlier on, but regardless, looks like AVANT, that tactical pause has worked and paid dividends for them.
Just kill him, lol.
Yeah, Sterling just decided, oh, why don't I just sit a further angle away instead of pushing T-connector with an AWP? Let's just sit back at a very strong position at Green Train and just kill them.
Yep.
Works a charm. 2v5.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time till they worked out a solution. That's not going to help, though. I mean, it's Alistair and Valiant's the last two alive, and these two, you know, have definitely not been too cold in this map. Definitely serviceable so far. So there's a potential chance they can make something happen here. The problem is that they are leaving this quite late, wrapping back through Ivy. You can see Apoc is over towards Dark Side. So unless they deal with him quite handedly, then he's in a great position just to be able to find that information. You got Hazard in a pretty decent position towards Heaven here, which when you're wrapping through Ivy is going to make your job a lot harder for the Ts.
Oh, now it all is down to Apoc, and he almost gets his job done. Val, however, has been performing like a champion for Order so far, but he's only got 20 seconds. His position's known. It's a 1v3. It's looking like this could be all she wrote. Hazard seals the deal at the end of the day, but there it is. First map going to AVANT. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a whole post-match to discuss all the action, and we'll see you shortly.